Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. What is going on? Contenders can't duck world champions. Simple as that. Now, it's laughable. The internet is obviously laughable, right? People are saying that Vergil Ortiz ducked Terence Crawford to fight Eimantas Stanionis, okay, which is a very, very tough fight. Now, we all know that Terence Crawford was in negotiations with Earl Spence. Obviously, Vergil Ortiz was next in line for a Terence Crawford fight, right? Well, Terence Crawford had other plans. He had things going. And now people are saying that Vergil Ortiz is ducked Terence Crawford to fight Stanionis. Okay, like I've said, contenders can't duck world champions. It's just not possible, right? The only person that can duck somebody is a world champion. Wants to avoid somebody who's younger, hungrier, and obviously um has that dog in him. Okay, Vergil Ortiz is a contender. If he goes off and he fights a guy like Stanionis, he's obviously trying to build himself up. Obviously, Terence Crawford is now being in pictures with Oscar De La Hoya, which is kind of telling that a fight with Vergil Ortiz in the near future is upon us, right? Obviously, Earl Spence negotiations have completely gone south, and people are saying that this fight is no longer gonna happen. Well, Terence Crawford has things to do. So he has to find an opponent that's going to be very credible, right? Vergil Ortiz has on a tough task to fight Eimantas Stanionis, the Lithuanian Olympian, okay? And Vergil Ortiz is going to have a tough time with them. You know what I'm saying? This is not no walk in the park. Oh, yeah, we just going to go in. This is a tune-up fight. This is a guy that, the only thing that this guy is somebody that people really haven't heard, right? But if you watch him and if you watch how he fights and if you've been watching him, then the guy is the goods. The guy is a threat. He is not no, oh, here, I'm just going to go in there. And nah, it's definitely not. Now, Vergil Ortiz felt like he needed more time to fight Terence Crawford. That's not a duck, okay? A contender is still coming up in the rankings. He's still coming up, trying to gain that confidence to become that world level opponent, right? So you cannot duck at a contender level, right? If I'm a contender and I feel like I'm not ready for a fight, that's obviously gonna be a tough fight for me. You know what I'm saying? Then and I choose to go to another fight that's still dangerous, as dangerous, right? To get me prepared for a world title shot against a guy like Terence Crawford, then yes, right? You cannot duck. You're just not. You're simply not ready. We've seen Robert Garcia. He's come out and he said, Vergil Ortiz, yeah, he's gonna be ready for Terence Crawford, but not right now. You know what I'm saying? Now that we see Terence Crawford in pictures with Oscar De La Hoya, that fight is very near for us to see. Okay, Terence Crawford is obviously not going to be waiting around for no Earl Spence. Earl Spence says he only has a couple fights, or one fight left at 147, and he's gonna go up to 154, right? Terence Crawford has to make fights happen at 147 for himself and his legacy. A great fight is somebody like Vergil Ortiz. Okay, if Boots Ennis tomorrow said, "Well, you know what? I just don't feel like I'm ready for Earl Spence," and the call was up, that don't mean that he ducked the man. You know what I'm saying? That just means that he was not ready for that fight. Now, if how Boots has been talking that he really wants Earl Spence, this and that, and Earl Spence is now giving him no looks, this and that. They're not in negotiations enough, and that's still not a duck, but you could consider that, he's kind of avoiding uh Jerron Boots Ennis. He don't want no parts of that. If he's not gonna fight Keith Thurman, then nobody wants to see you not fight. You wanna fight a guy like Boots Ennis, right? Obviously, get him out the way early. You know what I mean? This dude is looking like he's gonna be the truth, the real truth. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, contenders can't duck world champions. It's just not possible. How am I avoiding a world champion? You know what I'm saying? How is somebody avoiding a world champion? You usually see the world champions avoiding contenders. Simple as that. That's how boxing works. World champions avoid contenders. The reason why is because they see what you got and they're like, well, I want to stay a world champion and get that money. That's why contenders don't. If you're usually good, like Vergil Ortiz or Boots Ennis, you're not gonna get those title shots ASAP, right? You've seen guys that are so-called tune-ups, journeymen in the sport. They get fights everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are eating. The reason why is because they already know their role. We coming in there to lose. A contender is not gonna fold on you. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna bring out the best of himself that night and the best of you that night. You know what I'm saying? So the doubt is in the world champion, obviously. It's not in the contender. The contender, obviously, if you feel that's they doubt. If they feel like they're not ready, okay, that's they doubt. But you can't be like, oh yeah, well, the contender's dugger because he's gonna fight Stanionis for crying out loud. That dude is dangerous. As simple as that. He's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Now I suggest people that are saying that Vergil Ortiz ducked Terence Crawford. I suggest you go check out film on a guy like Stanionis. I suggest you go and look at what he does inside of the ring. I suggest that you do some research because Vergil Ortiz, in no possible way, uh, duck Terence Crawford, you know. And from the looks of Oscar de la Hoya, Terence Crawford, you know what I'm saying, being in the same picture together, I don't know. It's speculation. Obviously, nobody really knows what went down, but uh, things could come down to him fighting a guy like Vergil Ortiz, and a guy like Vergil Ortiz is a very dangerous fighter for a guy like Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what Vergil Ortiz brings to the table when he takes on Eimantas Stanionis. Obviously, Stanionis had to postpone the fight because he due to I believe injury or surgery, if I'm not mistaken. So the fight has been postponed, but it's gonna be a good fight nonetheless. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified, and we out. Peace.